MC for this evening, I have the honor of speaking to you about each of these dances of this exhilarating and beautiful dance form. But I have an even greater privilege and honor, and that is to be a part of the Sarker family as Kriti's older sister. I would like to take a few moments now to share a few of my experiences and feelings in that role as Kriti's older sister. When I watch her dance, when I was just watching her dance even now, words were running through my mind and images were flashing in front of my eyes. I've basically seen her grow up from a teeny tiny little teetering toddler who, no matter how crazy the situation was, would always find a way to dance. She seemed to have an inherent sense of rhythm in her feet and melody in her bones. So as I watch her today, I was thinking about Bharatanatyam and what it means. Bharata, bhava, ragam, talam, natyam, which is dance. That word itself seems to encompass everything that Kriti is, as an artist, as a dancer, as a performer. You can further describe Bharatanatyam as nritta, or pure dance, and nritya, or interpretive dance. We have yet to see some of Kriti's most exciting and exhilarating performances that embody the nritya aspect. So I advise you to watch out for that. Because when I think of Kriti and her journey as a dancer, I can clearly see her progression from doing just nritta to incorporating nritta and nritya into her dances. For that, I'd like to take a little while to take you on a journey back to when Kriti was about 3 or 4 years old. She wasn't really much of a singer at that time. So when she started to dance, I wasn't sure, if she'd be able to really dance and feel the movements even at that young age. I know that's kind of an unreasonable expectation to have, but my background as a singer sort of gave me very high expectations of my little sister. And she honestly stood up to them and proved me wrong, even at the age of 3. She was a singer, even though you wouldn't be able to tell if you asked her that. She would say, "No, I'm not a singer, I'm a dancer." But I'd like to tell you that she was extremely melodious as a 3-year-old. And her feet were very, very strong, even at that young age. Whenever she would do tatkar in her Kathak lessons, she would be the loudest, the steadiest, and the fastest. So there you have nritta, or pure dance, the technical footwork, the intensity of her feet, keeping beat somehow perfectly, even when she was falling down, when she was trying to spin, she would somehow be able to keep the nritta intact. The nritya, or the interpretive aspect, developed as she grew older, under the training of her Kathak guru, and then under the training of her gurus in Bharatanatyam when she transitioned into that dance form, which was so unlike Kathak. Along the way, Kriti became something of a choreographer, doing her own Kathak pieces, performing them at various events. And one thing that amazed me every single time she went to perform was her ability to somehow make the best of her practices and put an impressive performance out on every single stage that she stepped onto. When she started choreographing fusion pieces of Kathak and Bharatanatyam, once she began her training at the Natya School of Dance, I could see the creative juices flowing within her, incorporated into her sense of rhythm, melody, and expression. As she continued to grow, and as I went off to college, I could only come back intermittently to see her performances at community events or pujas. Every single time I would watch her perform, I would see a new side of her, a new part of the actress in her flourishing. And to me, as a sister, watching her perform, every time I would watch her, I would be amazed to see how this little girl who didn't really know how to act when she was 3 years old became such an accomplished and expressive young woman. So this Arangetram training has been going on for quite a while now, and I've been fortunate to see her traveling through all of those stages every step of the way, watching a new part of the artist in her grow, flourish, and be here in front of you all. What strikes me most, as I said before, is her ability to express herself, the Nritya aspect has truly blossomed and flourished on this stage tonight. When I watch her, I always think about the one piece of advice that I used to give her during her Arangetram training in the early stages. That was, try to feel the characters. Try to understand the stories that you're telling, because when you perform, when you feel the characters and their plight, then the audience will be able to connect and understand what you're doing, because language is really no barrier for music and dance. On this stage, you have already gotten a chance to see some of the actor in her come alive, but you have yet to see her putting life, infusing each character that she plays with a distinct personality through her movements, the softness in her hands, the strength in her feet, the expressions in her eyes that somehow transmit all the way through her entire body. She gives a fish as much personality as a person, whether that person is an evil prince or a strong king or an innocent child or a devotee of one of the gods that we are worshiping tonight here on this stage. For Kriti, even though she may not realize it, dance has always been a devotional form for her, a space where, even at the age of 4, on a stage with other people, she has been somehow set apart and dancing to her own tunes, somehow conveying grace and rhythm, strength and softness all at once. That has progressed, and she has now graduated from high school, and I know that with this Arangetram, which some term as a dance graduation, but is really just the beginning of a journey, I know that every single stage, every single step that she will take in the future will be just as wonderful, just as infused with life, and just as beautiful to behold. Thank you. The next item is called Hari Tum Haro. Princess Meera Bai, a 16th-century saint, was an ardent devotee of Lord Krishna, or Hari. In this poem, she recounts a few of the many ways Krishna saved the lives of his devotees in prior incarnations. The first story that Kriti will be depicting describes a pivotal scene from the Hindu epic Mahabharata, which narrates the events leading to the battle of the Kurukshetra, fought by 2 branches of the Kuru clan, the Kauravas and the Pandavas. The Kaurava prince Duryodhan tricks the Pandava king Yudhishthir into playing a fixed game of dice, which results in Yudhishthir losing his kingdom, his 4 brothers, and their wife Draupadi. Duryodhan, now in possession of everything Yudhishthir gambled away, orders his younger brother Dusashan to fetch Draupadi and bring her to him in front of the entire court. Dragged into the court by her hair, Draupadi is shocked by the silence of her husbands and the elders present, as she is demeaned by Duryodhan. Intending to then cause further humiliation, Dusashan attempts to disrobe Draupadi. Realizing how helpless she has become, Draupadi begins to pray to Lord Krishna, asking for his aid. Krishna saves Draupadi's honor by making the length of her sari infinite, causing Dushasan to finally collapse from fatigue after pulling the sari that will not end. The second story is the story of Narasimha. The demon king Hiranyakashipu was granted the boon that he could not be killed by either a human or an animal, neither inside or outside of a residence, neither on the earth or the sky during day or night. One day, Hiranyakashipu catches his son Prahlada worshipping Vishnu. Believing himself to be invincible and no less than a god, Hiranyakashipu is infuriated by his son Prahlada's worship of Vishnu. After Hiranyakashipu angrily questions Prahlada's worship, Prahlada responds that Vishnu is present in everything, from a minuscule speck of dust to the massive pillars of the palace. Not believing him, Hiranyakashipu kicks a nearby pillar in rage. From the pillar emerges Narasimha, a form of Vishnu that is half man and half beast. Narasimha, a creature that is neither completely a man or a beast, during twilight, neither day nor night, stands on the threshold of the palace, neither indoors nor outdoors, places Hiranyakashipu on his lap, which is neither the sky nor the earth, and shreds him to pieces. The next story, Gajendra Moksha, or the liberation of Gajendra, is about Gajendra the Elephant King. One day, while happily bathing and drinking water in a river, Gajendra is attacked by Makar, a crocodile, who clings to Gajendra's leg. Although Gajendra tries to escape the crocodile's clutches, the crocodile refuses to let go. It is said that this struggle lasted for over 1,000 years. When Gajendra is drained of all his energy on the verge of death, he prays to Vishnu, holding up a lotus in his trunk as an offering to the god. Vishnu then comes to Gajendra's rescue, killing the crocodile with his weapon, the Sudarshan Chakra. The last story that Kriti will depict describes an event from Meera's own life. Disgusted by her unwavering devotion to Lord Krishna and her association with the poor, Meera's in-laws plan to poison her. When the poison is delivered to her, Meera takes it to a statue of Krishna as an offering. Aware of Meera's devotion, Krishna extracts the poison from the vial, which turns his statue blue. And when Meera drinks the poison, surrendering her life to the Lord, she is unharmed due to the strength of her faith. This composition is in Ragam Darbari, Kanada, set to Talam Adi with choreography by Vinitha Subramanian.
Tum Haro Janaki Draupadi ki लाज राख्यो तुम बड़ा युक्ति द्रौपदी की लाज राख्यो तुम बड़ा युक्ति द्रौपदी भकुत कारण रूप नरहरि धरियो आप शरीर भकुत हरि हरि